Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. One of the things that is very frustrating for a content creator is when you play off-screen playing video games. In particular, when you start to have way better luck off-screen and you can't show it to anybody. So that's pretty much exactly what happened. I said at the end of last recording that I was going to play a lot off-screen, and then frankly this is like the third game since my last recording, and I'm about to summon Exodia. So I definitely want to show off that animation, so I'm hopping back on here. Alright, so how am I going to summon Exodia? Well, first of all, I had two Veil of Darknesses, which let me get to this point where I have 4 pieces of Exodia in the field. Part of that also certainly came around getting really lucky to get Raw to destroy things. This card, if you activate it as a chain with Veil of Darkness, counters the ability to draw a new card from Veil of Darkness. So it kind of is not a good synergy to this card, but I used it anyways just to experiment. This card is kind of a good defense card. So this card, Exodius, the ultimate Forbidden One, Forbidden Lord, when it attacks, will put one piece of the Forbidden One, but not Exodia, the Forbidden One, I think, into the graveyard. It's kind of important to know that, but when this attacks, it'll put one in the graveyard. Whereas this card, the legendary Exodia Incarnate, will, at the end of a turn, bring an Exodia piece out of the graveyard into your hand. So, through this setup, all I have to do now is attack here, not take 2300 damage in defense, and then end my turn, and that should put a card in the graveyard because of his effect. Return that same card from the graveyard to the hand. Once all of them are in the hand, that should win the game. Oddly, actually, in either the end phase or in between the end phase and the draw phase of the opponent. I could also have just attacked. Notice that his life is at 1,000. Playing very specifically here to just try and get victories. So let's do this. So this will discard. I could discard something from my hand and that would be a mistake. I could also discard some other card, which would be a mistake. And that's all we need to do, so we just end the turn. That brings this card back. And that's summoning Exodia the Forbidden One. And then notice it says 1 due to Exodia the Forbidden One's effect. Notice that doesn't give you a ton of XP or anything. And that gave me 200 gems because I was doing this deck, but I still have to win with the loner deck here for the Mystery of the Megalith. But that's not what we're going to focus on today. Instead, might as well just go in order since they're all unlocked. The Colossal Mechanical Conch. None of these cards feel like they are synergized, or none of these solo stories feel like they continue in any way, which is funny because I feel like the Warriors of the Six Element Lords actually did say to be continued, and so unless their story is continued in the Legend of the Star Heroes, I think each is going to just be kind of its own little standalone story, introducing the characters just barely. Let's see. This is going to be pendulum summons. I haven't been really reading any of this outside of the load screens because, let's face it, it doesn't really matter. Definitely the secondary currency seems like it's all over the place, because even if I was to take 200 to unlock one, 200 to unlock another, that would still leave me with 350 of dark, where we only have 100 of like earth, and then we have like 650 of fire, and it seems like these resources are totally pointless once you have them all, unless the game wanted to say for every one of these secondary currencies you got a card for every single point, or you got a card for every 100 points, or 50 points, or 25 points. Like, that would be kind of nice, but then the secondary currency would be kind of crazy at that. There is definitely room for a secondary currency that specifically says you have enough here to build a dark deck, so play a dark deck, or you have enough here to play a fire deck, so build a fire deck, instead of just having crafting points for normals, rares, super rares, and ultra rares. So we're gonna get this pendulum card. It might also be a plant card, and frankly, getting these kinds of cards might turn out to be helpful in making better decks later on, even though you're only going to get a couple of them, potentially. And I guess this is supposed to be like the world tree, because this is the Kabbalic symbol, or a spin on the Kabbalic symbol of the Tree of Life. I think it's a Kabbalic symbol, not an alchemy symbol. Like Kabbalic, ancient Jewish mysticism symbol. Interesting, it starts on this planet. There grew a great tree that they all called the Natria Sacred Tree. What's funny there is that there's a Natria Sacred Tree or Natria whole class of cards in Shadowverse. I wonder if Shadowverse on some levels did steal some of their ideas from Yu-Gi-Oh! Or vice versa. I can tell you it's not that consistently the same. And if anybody stole ideas from Yu-Gi-Oh! They would have to tone it down quite a bit. Nature is probably a very easy way for Japanese people to drop the L, because they can't pronounce L's or R's, and not have to say natural. But note that they said on this planet, so that effectively confirms that different card expansions are happening on different planets, which we kind of had to assume with the Megalith story too, because you're talking about characters that were destroying entire worlds, and it would be fairly ridiculous to have all of these characters coming from the same world. Life is born from this magnificent tree, and then death all return to it. The cycle of life, which could be called reincarnation, has been carried out on this planet for eternity. There came a time, however, when a war was waged over the nature of sacred tree and this sacred source of life. Oh, this is Shadal stuff. However, the Shadal forces. So, if Shadal is supposed to be like Shaddai, as in El Shaddai, God Almighty in Jewish things, then we're seeing a Kabbalah Tree of Life thing. We can definitely see their influence. The Shadal forces relentlessly attacked the sacred tree as if on a mission, so they're the bad guys? In the face of this threat, the protectors of the sacred tree rose and fought back against the Shaddolls. I guess they are bad guys if you look at their dark purples, and that's a good art style too. Don't just paint everything black. Go with darker purples and shades of dark colors. And then don't be afraid to throw a little gold and green into it too. They rose and fought back against the Shaddolls. This is one of those stories where there's actually two competing forces. The battle reached a fever pitch with the fate of the entire world riding on it. And here you have like characters in the foreground that are all kind of blurred out, and then characters in shadow in the background. The 8 forces created a protective barrier for the sacred tree, and cooperating with the forces that were already in battle, they seemed to succeed in pushing back the Shaddol threat. However, disaster struck when somehow someone managed to destroy the barrier. El Shaddai wins. Yeah, it is El Shaddai. It's gotta be. El Shaddai Winda had pushed her way through to the sacred tree. With her divine powers, she broke the seal of the sacred tree, and the great tree tore itself from the earth and began to rise towards the sky. Hidden within its roots, underneath was an enormous life system. The system was the very crux of the planet's life cycle. As if returning to the system, all the cores that had once lost... What are cores? All the cores that it had once lost began to float toward it and were sucked inside. Using the recovered cores as their source of power, the Quilifortis weapons hidden within the system began to activate, throwing in a lot of jargon. As each Quilifortis sprang to life, they flew into the distance all across the land. Only time would tell what the Quiliforts were after. So a whole third category of people, but really no story there. And I don't know what, I didn't really see anything that's like a conch. A conch is like a shell, but maybe the Tree of Life itself is the shell. Kind of feels like the whole tree was actually a spaceship that crashed on the planet and was maintaining and creating life for a long time, but now these Shaddolls are trying to move it to a different place. I wonder how you pronounce Kwai in Japanese. Qli. What makes a Kwai deck unique? Take advantage of Pendulum Summon to bring out 3 tributes as you need for Oclafort Towers in an instant. This deck is powerful because it has strong protection that lets monsters stay unaffected by effects from monsters with lower levels and ranks, and the ability to summon higher level pendulum monsters without tributes. Alright. We'll see how that plays. Definitely when you look at this, there is a lot of alienness to this playfield. Activate Quillifort Scout and Quillifort Monolith as spell cards. Okay, so P-scale this one, and P-scale this one, without really reading them. Pendulum summon the 3 monsters. This one also has an effect. And these are all pendulum summoning from the hand. It's very special summon. Aquafort Towers is a powerful monster that requires 3 tribute monsters to tribute summon it. Tribute summon Aquafort Towers. 18 all the way along here. That one, and that one. Activate its effect. This potent effect forces your opponent to send 1 monster from their hand or field to the graveyard. So, some card destruction. And then just attack the life forces directly. So what does this effect do? Is this supposed to be a joke here? Booting in replica mode, an error occurred while executing C. Sophia Zephyr, unknown publisher. Allow C-Tier, Coliform EXE, yes. Booting in autonomy mode. Yes, that is the actual character text. Interesting. So these are like programs. Yeah, these are straight up programs. At a certain level, it is true that all the characters are really just programs, though, because unless it's the idea that the hologram generators that are bringing holograms about when they play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game in the Yu-Gi anime universe, yeah, at that point they are creating programs or depictions of the characters. And in the real world, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, each of these characters are programs. There have been some sci-fi stories, certainly, around the idea of every idea and concept created in the mind of a human becomes its own universe, and that's, I don't think realistically what the multiverse would, if ever proven to be true, would be. Like, I just don't I don't buy the idea that you could potentially have a universe that just makes no sense at all. I could buy that it could make very little sense, but at a certain point there will just be kind of natural processes that would eliminate things. Like, I seriously doubt there is a universe, if the multiverse exists, where everything is flat 2D cartoons and it's running on Looney Tune logic, because there isn't actual logic there. It's just not really believable. Now, if you flip a coin, you have a 50% chance of it being heads or tails, or maybe even, if you want to be pedantic, a chance of a chance of it landing on its side. But what you don't have is a chance of the coin turning into a dove and flying away. That would never happen. Summon this. I'm just gonna have to hope this P scale works. Nope. What? I thought that was a 8. Think I've lost here. Yeah, and I'm probably getting fairly bored with Yu-Gi-Oh's because their story really isn't saying anything. If I'm rambling about the multiverse theory. What's funny is Shadowverse, as a collectible card game, has gone kind of the opposite direction compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! In that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was started from the idea of let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! Started from the idea of having a anime and a cartoon and everything all happen at the same time, and trying very hard to try and make that all make sense together, and not particularly succeeding greatly at making it all sense in the first series, but eventually figuring it out. Whereas Shadowverse started off as a collectible card game, and it has recently tried to make a more kid-friendly anime. And from that perspective, in both stories, it's always, let's make an anime, let's make a cartoon where it's just a kid playing the card game, instead of it being, say, a kid in a universe where all of the creatures really exist. I guess the reason why you do that is because it would be a fairly pale comparison, and pathetic comparison, if somebody was running around just saying spells or something to summon monsters. I suppose it is the case that in Magic, even though Magic doesn't have a cartoon and probably should have had a cartoon at some point, they do have their books, and in the Magic the Gathering books, everything is real. It isn't, well, to a certain extent everything is real. The planeswalkers are real, and when you're playing Magic the Gathering, you're playing as a planeswalker. When I was originally playing Magic the Gathering in the real world, that was like Ice Age era, so very, very early in Magic the Gathering. The concept of planeswalkers I don't think even existed, but now the official narrative is that every player playing Magic the Gathering is a planeswalker, and every card that they summon is a spell, summoning a memory of somebody that you may have run into as a planeswalker in the past. And so they're cheap, disposable figments and not real characters. Well, this is letting me just do a lot. Can we do something here? What does this effect do? One card, I guess. Nope, I don't want to target that card. Can I undo that? No, I don't think I can. Do I have anything? Yeah, I've just got like nothing here. Clearly, I don't understand these cards well enough yet. So we want to summon that, obviously. So we want to strategize around that idea. We'll try and activate this effect and do nothing, and you know what, for just time's sake, we'll just go ahead and surrender and start over again. And remember, this is the easy duel. Yep. Unfortunately, one of the most frustrating parts about Shadowverse as a collectible card game, adding a anime and trying to make it more kid-friendly, is that they started from the idea of it not being particularly that kid-friendly and more older adult-friendly. It's not got anything that's extremely offensive in it, sure, but it also wasn't pandering to like adult to kids, whereas now Shadowverse is kind of pandering to kids, and so now it feels very different and feels like it's changing what it was, or what it once was. Let's see if we can get all of this on the field to then summon this. 1, 2, 3. Turn to hand. Make an opponent return it from the field to the graveyard. Excellent. What does this effect do? Yeah, this feels like this would synergize with this, so now it can't be destroyed. Unaffected by spells, traps, or battle. So it would need an effect monster at level 10 to actually affect it, I believe is what I'm reading there. So a good draw here, very possibly, has just solved this battle. What does this one do? It's probably a good thing. 800 to activate another Queeleye. Or we could pendulum summon. Which one would be the biggest attack? This one? Let's go ahead and sacrifice another 800. And take this one, I guess. Activate effect. Well, that sucks. This is the one you want. I'm fairly certain. But see, this was a monster that was below at 7 stars. So something there I didn't understand. I guess it can just die from regular battle damage. Okay. I don't feel like any of these do anything different. Guess we wanted this trap, probably more. I probably shouldn't have activated that trap that turn. Come to think of it. Because if I'd activated that on my turn, if you control no face-up cards, yeah, that's not going to happen. Alright, so let's try that again. It's not like he's gonna run out of cards or anything. And all of a sudden we can see why the mate character is always in the lower left hand corner, because they wanted to potentially have regions where there were some other mate characters per level. I don't even know if this level is if this play mat is purchasable or not. Be kind of weird if it wasn't. Alright, summon this. Put that in attack. Pendulum summon. Now. I'm gonna summon this just for variety's sake. I think that might work. Alright. trying to look here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying really hard here. So, yeah, he's playing something here with the stealth and the carrier that gives plus 300 attack, whereas this gives 300 attack for Kili characters, but for some reason it's not working. Okay. Pendulum summon. A 28. Special summon that. Neither one of those work. In the turn and lose. Or I should just surrender, frankly. I guess maybe they've done a little bit better of a job than I thought they did by putting the more difficult solo stories at the end, but no, I can't really believe that. I imagine there are some people that might have an easy time on this if they just understood it better and paid attention a little bit better than I am. It definitely isn't holding your hand, but yeah. I haven't seen major difficulty spikes in the solos for the first duels. It's the second and third duels that are insanely difficult. Alright. So we have a 9, and we have a 9. Really just allow us to not... Neither one of these really feel like the right ones for P-scale. So this would be 18. And this would be 18. So let's just do that. Because honestly, I don't think there's kind of anything else to do. In fact, unless these traps activate and just change how everything works, I am gonna probably just surrender. Starting with 3 traps, that's kind of crazy. Alright, let's start with that. And then not chain. That oddly only added 1 card. Let's activate this. And not chain. I guess activate this. Let's go ahead and activate this effect. Banish 6 cards from your extra deck, which is probably an insane move. Activate this effect. Let's see. So now we have a P-scale of 1. And you have a P-scale of 9. And then pendulum summon something and something. And just go ahead and take that. And I don't think we want to special summon anything, although we kind of don't have a choice. So we'll do that and do that. And then what's this effect do? Negate effects, negate effects. Yeah, I don't see a reason to negate effects. And I'd pretty much have to win this turn. Summon that. Do we want Helix? Which one of these can be special summoned? It's about the only thing we can do, so might as well do it. Yeah, none of that worked. See. So it feels like when you summon that as a 4, it negates their effects and brings them back to being an 8. So this trap, this requilate, is actually for your benefit, and you should only activate it when you have a bunch of things that you can summon normally as a 4 instead of an 8. Which arguably means maybe this deck is not built around the idea of P-scale summoning at all. Like this monolith, I assume you should P-scale. But alright, here. I'm gonna just toss this card because I don't think that's a good card. And then toss, destroy those. Okay. Go ahead and activate the field spell. All your monsters you control lose 300. All monsters you control lose 300. Alright. And that P-scale summoned that as a 4. Why did it not P-scale summon it as an 8? Seems odd. So you do all of this, and then it doesn't really reward you. Again, why is that treating it like a 4? I think at this point you probably just surrender and save yourself some time. No Heart of the Cards trick is going to save you there. Even when you surrender, that animation of destroying all the cards, it's slow. There really should be very little animation. It should be very, very fast when you surrender because you're trying to save time, or at the very least you don't want to linger on negativity. Right. The stealth, I think, is the right one to go with, because this one increases attack by 300. This one would bring in cards as a 9 and is probably your best bet. So activate this effect and give me something else that consider. One, two, three. Will all of these be at the 1400 level? This could get me a 3000 right now, if necessary, but I don't think it's necessary in the turn. So that just kind of wrecked everything. Alright, well, at that point, we do need something that we can special summon. And options don't look great. Guess we want this one. But I'm really guessing there. This was not link summoned. Interesting. And what was it? Yeah, the odds of being able to kill this and him not having a trap or something is pretty low. And I totally am running out of things to talk about or say. It's too grindy for its own good. At the very least, it would be nice to be able to skip this and just see the story finished. Shadowverse kind of has that ability in its story mode, so you can actually see the story if you... but actually, it doesn't quite have that either, because there are definitely points in Shadowverse where you have to win. And in all fairness, since Shadowverse's story is much more linear and much longer, there are some battles. But yeah, you cannot see the story even until you get a victory. And at a certain level, if I can't get a victory with the loner deck, then I should try to get a victory with the custom built deck. Let's see. $300 loss there. Gain 300. Interestingly, I cannot attack. I put a 9 and a 9. That was stupid. So I can't P-scale summon anything unless it's a 9. And not even a 9. It would have to be, I guess, maybe in between a 9. So yeah, you make one mistake, you might as well just concede at that point. Like that, even if you play it perfectly, you're not guaranteed a victory. So, okay, let's try this again. P-scale 9, P-scale 1. Now we can, let's actually activate this effect first. Now pendulum summon. That and that and that. Put all those up in attack positions. Okay. Cannot be destroyed in battle. 2100. Let's just go ahead and attack. Here. And here. And see, if I win here, it's just going to be because of dumb luck. But I suspect he'll pendulum scale and he'll summon 3 characters, and that will somehow magically get him strengthened and me weakened. Okay, so all I can do is activate this effect, put it on this character, turn it to a 21, take that guy out, take out 300, but we still would have to pull off basically a miracle to get past this guy enough to do 1600 damage. And while this guy can't be destroyed by battle because this is lower level or something, I don't know, it still isn't gonna win. Go ahead and chain that with this. And can I draw 3 better cards than he can? Pretty much doesn't matter what you draw. So now I'm down to 900 health. Okay. Is there anything we could possibly do? Let's see. We had 1 and a 9. Hmm. 2,400. Let's see if we can. Get him down to 1,000, I guess. Unless we could do something here. We could just like negate effects if we wanted to, but that's not going to help us any. So we've just like lost. Unless this trap card. That was very close, at least. So we maybe are getting a little bit better. But it definitely feels like there's half a strategy at most. It doesn't feel like they've given me a full loner deck. And sure, you could drive somebody down the wrong path and have them accidentally confuse themselves by playing too complicated of a deck, but yeah, I don't feel like they've gotten anywhere close to that being an issue. Okay. Normal summon and normal summon when this is activated. So I'm gonna end the turn here and let him attack me. As stupid as that may sound, I'm going to then summon this and this, and then this ability should negate the effect of normal summoning this and make this a 28 and a 24 instead of an 1800. No. Okay. Go ahead and activate this. Put this in face-up attack position. 24. And an ability to gain 300, 24, and lose 300 and 28. So we'll P-scale this one. We're gonna normal summon this there. And that does that. And then we're going to normal summon this. And that does that and synergizes with that. Great. Think we've got it. Everything can attack. And that's going to leave him fairly well devastated. I don't think we need to synergize and summon anything else. Now this effect may just happen anyways though, so he's going to summon and then that's going to negate his ability and turn it to a 28, turn it to a 31, and allow him to attack. Here's the deal though, we can now attribute that and put that there. And yeah, activate an effect to get rid of a card. So do we want to just attack here? I think we do. Trade blow for blow and take him down to 700. There's probably not an extra card here that would have been better than doing that. Let's see, we can activate this again, and I would heavily suspect he doesn't have anything to get around that. I'm glad I won there, but I'm not particularly happy that it took me like 40 minutes to get to that point. Like that, there was a lot of gameplay and grinding. And inherently, what that's gonna do is it's gonna give us a slightly better loner deck, but only sever a little bit slightly better. And then we're gonna have to do this duel. And this one would give us a monolith mate, which I already found the skates to be a nice quiet mate, so I'm not sure, although I don't really like the visuals of the skates because it's kind of silly, but let's see if we can do this again. Summon. That lets us summon 2. That lets us put one into P-scale now, which probably a mistake to have done that. I probably shouldn't have played any card at all, because now he can just clear the field. Now he has a whole nother card. Let's see. And this is not a Qualai card. So all of a sudden I have different cards I'm playing for an unknown reason. And clearly this guy is looking for a specific card. But I don't know what he's looking for. Unless it was just that. Let's see. I could equip that card and help him defeat me. Might as well not special summon that. Seems like he's gonna destroy my cards. Or return them to my hand. I could have activated the trap at that point. That would have been fine. Activate this trap. Go ahead and put it in the attack mode because it doesn't matter anyways. Activate that. Activate that. Effect activation. Activate that. Summon. Summon by sacrificing, I guess, 2 things to get to a 10, right? Normal summon it and its attack would be 0. Sure. Okay. Now, what does the special summon list do? 2 low-level monsters. Face-up card effects are negated. Okay, well, let's see if this works. Send the card to the graveyard? Sure. Select the card to be sent to the graveyard. Seriously? I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here, but I'll try this. Yeah, unless this let me P-summon a whole bunch of cards. Let's see. What is the effect that's about to happen here? Let's take it 50-50. Let's go with this one. And yeah, let's go with this one. It just returned it to the hand. Which I still don't think that's enough. Can't P-scale summon anything. Activate this effect. Okay, cool. Cool. But then you skipped your battle phase for doing that. We're playing a completely different game now. Like completely different cards, completely different game. I don't know what this has anything to do with the story that we were told. Seems like they've just thrown in a bunch of Railway cards, and Railway wasn't really playing a role in the narrative. Unless there was like a deeper narrative happening here that happened in some later series of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, which very possibly that's the case. Is we could be playing an expansion that was like 4 or 5 episodes in a late Yu-Gi-Oh anime series. Alright. Okay. Special summon something with 3,000 or more. Cool. Put that on the field. Cool. We'll just go ahead and skip our turn there. Also. And yeah, I don't believe there's anything more to go for. Unless it, like this, would be 2 level 10 monsters. Might be interesting. 3 level 11 monsters. 2 machine types for 2,200. Heavily armored train might be something to think about. Yeah, let's try it. Nope, can't summon that. Anyways. What do we need to do to get heavily armored train? A lot of things just like reset. See. I'll take this and hope I can use it. Seriously? That is not what I meant to do. Let's see, next. Take that out. And then take that out. Because I put that on there, so now it's just going to stay alive forever. Which I guess technically that did more damage, but boy, was that not what I was planning for. Ooh, oh, man, I could have special summoned 2 level 10 monsters. Aw, man. Messed up there. I could have special summoned 2 level 10 monsters for a stronger character. Alright, well. See if this works. Bring that back to the field. Also special summon that to the field. And set level 8. Level 4. See what we can do. 2 level 10s at 3,000. Once per detached, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. That's not enough. 3,200. You can detach a material. We could go with the major defense. Let's take this. One of these and one of these. Let's see. Monsters this is not a Quee-like monster though. Nor is this. Let's go ahead and summon this. And activate this. And bring that back. Do we want to chain? No. Just detach a card, I think. That didn't work either. It's just like nothing is working because I think of this skill drain ability. Well, I'll be darned if this might not work. 4,000. We're not going to get anything higher than that. Unless we want to switch it to something else. I don't think so. Detach one, it gains to get 2,000 and 2,000. Well, nothing else can attack, but I turned it around. Let's see what else we can do now. Oh yeah, I guess I could have always normal summoned that. I feel like I could probably summon something better, but let's go ahead and attack with this first. And then yeah. Clear the field. 2 level 10 monsters. We got that. For 3,000 or 3,200s? Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna lose here at this point, but you could do something. What is this card effect gonna be? Nah, I don't think that we need to do that. Go ahead and summon this on the field, and I'm going to activate this effect and detach that. Which doesn't actually do anything because of the skill drain. That's kind of a great example where they should probably just not even prompt you to activate an effect. It should just show an animation of the skill drain stopping the effect from happening. Even though technically you probably could still detach a card if you wanted to, which is useful. Yeah, I guess that would be the reason why you wouldn't want to do that, is you might want to detach cards to just get them in the graveyard, even if the effect is undone. So now we have the really difficult challenge with potentially a completely different loner deck once again from the looks of it. Although it does seem like what they are trying to impress upon you is the idea of it does feel like they're trying to impress you with the idea of maybe not piece scale summoning cards as much. Although that being said, seems like in this case there seems to be less of a reason to do that. Okay. Metal Foes Fusion. Metal Foes Fusion. Parametal Foes Fusion. Summon something from a deck. Select this one. And then apparently I can't activate that. So I don't have the cards necessary. Or there is no Metal Foes. Well, it looks like there's Metal Foes characters. Maybe I needed this spell later on, and maybe this will help if I can get to the next step. Which may be a big if. I guess we pendulum summon something here. And then you just normal summon this. And then go ahead and destroy this. I'm gonna take this trap, put it down here. I should see if you can directly attack when something's side by side like that and there's nothing else in the way. I assume the answer would be no, you can't just directly attack. Alright. Some Metal Foes. Vanisher. It's probably not what we want. I'm going to just start with Gold Driver. Still can't activate either one of these. Okay. Seven Star 2000. or 4-star 1900. Don't want to summon that. Yeah, let's just try and win here the old-fashioned way. Well, that didn't do anything. That's because this guy won't be damaged. Okay, well. Is this going to... Jeez. None of them seem to work. None of these spells seem to work, so why would you want to bring out all these metal foes and pretend like you can do a metal foes fusion? Yeah, unless I just draw like a perfect card in the next turn, I think I'm doomed. On top of which, I just don't understand. I don't understand the synergy between the Kuilai and the other metal foes characters. Let's see. Just destroy that, yeah. Finally. And I just have to hope that one of these is right. Finally. $25, $26, $28, $3,000. That one. Start with that one, sure. And then guess take this one. And then I guess you take this one. Let's see. 25 versus 28. Are these both metal foes? Yes. That one. And then that one. Got some kind of effect here. Might as well P-scale. Select a card to destroy. Select a card to set on the field. Let's see. Metal foes, metal foes, metal foes. 28. That was a mistake. I was hoping that I could summon with that. I'm struggling here, certainly, but I think we may be able to turn this around and win. I'm struggling by just playing wrong, summoning things, merging things. We don't want to activate that. We do want this back on the field, or back in our hand, or whatever. Let's see what we can activate here. That just returns the card to your hand. Draws another card. Oh, seriously? Guess we'll set the trap instead. Hand or fusion. Okay. So I might be able to bring about 3 monsters here using what's in my hand, doing this, then take your pick. We'll take this, and then I don't think I'm gonna summon this, so I'm gonna take that and do that. So there is a whole metal foes strategy here. I just... Let's see. I have like way too many of these spells for my own good. Alright, whatever. We probably have got a victory here. You hit this. You hit this. And we win. And would there be a reason to activate another spell? Maybe if I was playing ranked and if I was just showing off, I might. But nope. So let's see what the end of this story is. It was kind of an interesting story for the 4 or 5 sentences they showed me. When the Natria secret tree was uprooted, the Quilly forts were activated. These machines were a group of autonomous mobile weapons created to maintain equilibrium within the life system of the planet. When the Queeflets sensed an abnormality in the life system, they were mobilized to eliminate whatever it is. This time, what they sensed was the Shadal as a threat to be removed. The Shadal force were battered relentlessly and brought to the brink of destruction by the Queeflets. However, things took a sudden turn for the worse when they attempted to restrain and absorb El Shadal Winda, who apparently is a major player, and she definitely looks like she's kind of a robot puppet creature. The divine powers within her ended up freeing the vanguards of destruction that were slumbering within the Queeflets as sealed until this moment. Yeah, very anime-esque twist. Contact with El Shadal Winda also affected the Queeflets. Her power, a force equal to that of God itself, was never meant to exist. Once the Queeflets sensed that, they realized there was a fatal error in the life system. They decided to eradicate all life on the planet in order to purify it, essentially resetting it. Will life prevail, or is the world destined for ruination? This is but just one part of the star's unending battle. You'll surely come to know the fate of this planet in another story. And again, several times we've seen in the solo things, they've just faded to black, but it's always this weird gray black with odd little purple dots in the corner, which clearly feels like it's some kind of glitch or something. That's just always there, and I don't know if maybe that's a content ID marker of some sort. It would be fairly easy to just crop out the top of the screen to not show that, though, if they're trying to use that as a way of content IDing things. That could also certainly bring up a point that if Konami, like other Japanese companies, literally don't want people streaming their footage of their game, which I haven't seen any content ID claims yet, but if they're just not streamer friendly, then nobody's going to play their game and nobody's going to highlight their game, and I'm not going to highlight their game. So how many of these cards do we have? 3. It's, I think, fairly questionable why you would even want to play these cards when the Shadal cards seem to be the really strong ones that can beat them. In fact, that entire solo story really was just building up to the idea of how powerful Shadal is as a character. And I'm half tempted to like look up where in the most recent Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon they are narrative-wise, because maybe Shadal cards are being talked about even in the cartoon. And so that leaves the Legend of the Star Heroes for the next recording. And this Gears of Justice, we did not have the secondary currency to unlock this until recently, so let's show off these. So these will be different loaner decks, paying off in another mate character. And inevitably I'll spend a little bit of time and take a little bit of a break playing off screen, trying to get the custom deck victories on the remaining solo things. But since I won't touch the final solo story, there will always be a little bit left to do. Let's see. 1 4XYZ monster. Is this an XYZ monster? How would you even know? This needs to be rank 4. So if any one of these is going to be a rank 4 XYZ monster, it would be that. Let's see. So we want either this or this. Let's start with this one. Nope. I probably should have gone with a different one. Or whatever. But clearly we need an XYZ monster, and maybe that means maybe it has to have an X or Y or Z in the name. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. So that maybe that means I have to get it on the field first with a fusion summon. Yeah, I think that's probably the best we can do. You play these Giorgiano to get more Giorgia monsters. So maybe I played this to bring this back to the field to flip summon it. Bring some of the other gear monsters to the field. I have a monster reborn, but you probably don't want to waste it on something weak. One thing I think I also should point out is that even though this middle tier duel isn't defeated, I think I can go and fight the third tier duel. Or if I can't do it now, I could do it by beating it with a custom deck and then fighting that later. Alright. This is normal summoned. Yeah, you want this one. Nope, you don't want that one. Let's try this. One, two, three. And then what? It seems like this is going to be a very wasteful way to do things. Yeah, I don't think that worked well at all. Detach, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. Yeah, it just kind of feels like there wasn't as much of a strategy in the cards I drew than as I thought. I mean, this guy's got a ton of cards. He's gotta have some strategy. Ton of cards in his hands, ton of cards. Do we want to negate an effect? I feel like I might as well try. Yeah, I'm misunderstanding what the cards are doing here. Let's see. So I contribute this card and target level 4 machine type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. I feel like that would be better. And then We could change this to an attack position. This card still is not really proving itself to be useful. Okay, I feel a level of safety here, so I'm gonna see if we can. 2 level 4 monsters for 2200, 2 level 4s for 1200, 2100, 2300, 2500. That one, and that one. See, I think the strategy you generally want to play is to keep all of your cards in this triangle on the left. I think that's probably the best way. Finally, seems like I can use this to bring something else out. So that was the strategy between that card, is that you had to first get an XYZ character on the field, then it had to be level 4 instead of level 3, and then it lets you do something with it. What does this affect? Special summon monster your opponent controls. Take that. Set that. That was really easy. Like, it's very strange to have just like a couple of quick victories in a row when the game has been fairly brutal. And it still could be very brutal in this final one. I guess this was locked. Like, so the only other thing is, if I couldn't have won here, I could have potentially off-screen won here. And then I could have jumped over to this and shown off that. So now it's just going to be a matter of pressing our luck. Can we possibly get this one done? I don't mind admitting, though, that more than likely I'm playing these loner decks and figuring out the strategy for that one game and then forgetting it completely. Because like, I seriously doubt that I would be able to maintain in my mind the differences there. 23, 22. Alright, we'll take that. Giant Gear X. What is Giant Gears X? Once per turn you can detach it to add the machine from your deck or graveyard. Interesting. Also, apparently I could just summon something bigger now too. 3 XYZ monsters would be 4,000. Seriously? Can I get that? I can get this and it's bigger, so... And that doesn't let me do something, but now I have a lot of things on the field. $2,500 attack definitely was something that in the beginnings of the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Would have been a ridiculously high amount of attack to easily get onto the field, whereas nowadays 2,500 attack is fairly normal. Special summon from the deck. Okay. I think, special summon both of these. Missed the activation timing. You cannot activate the effect of Giorgino Mark III. Is that because of a setting I have here? Let's see. Special summoning animations, by the way, I turned that off. Self-chain is on. So, unless I was going to change this to activation order settings, turn that on. What cards do we want to target? That one. Activate that. Activate that. Activate that. Okay. What would we want to foolishly bury? Is there something really cool? I'm gonna foolishly bury that, but I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Let's see. I think we'll go ahead and battle to do that. And then that. And then that. Then that. Let's see what we can summon now. We can get 2 level 4 monsters. The 2 level 4 monsters. And so we'll take that one and that one. 2 level 4 monsters. In that one. And that one. Go ahead and add this. And take this. Yeah, and I don't think we want to do any of these others. Let's see. Detach one machine. Can attack the opponent directly. Let's see. Okay. So just normal summon this. Activate this effect. Spells. Traps. Change its name. Attack directly. Then this effect is going to add another thing to your hand. And that should be enough. Also, yeah, you gotta be real careful as far as the direct attacks here. I gave him the ability to attack directly, and because I gave him the ability to attack directly, I A, didn't win, but B, almost messed up completely there. Or maybe I did mess up completely, because this is going to be hard. Get rid of that. Let this one attack directly. Go into main battle phase. And again, attack directly. That felt a little easy. But I also don't feel like there's any need to try and show off and try and play my Exodia deck anymore. Like, that's all stuff I'll just do off screen. There's clearly a lot of grinding that's going to have to happen, and almost certainly I'm going to leave a lot of it just for me to do off screen at my leisure. And next recording we'll cover the Legend of Star Heroes, and unless it's for some insane reason unlocks more single player content, that'll be it for the single player content for a while. We can see in this secondary currency it's all over the place, but they did give you enough resources at least I'm assuming they're going to give me enough resources to unlock each of these gates and have some extra. Questionable why give the extra other than to just have these numbers be different, which that really seems like that is their only real desire, is to have the numbers be different. Of course, unless we get something once doing the single player as far as like a gift box, which maybe that would require actually completing, not just doing the loner deck ones. Like, it would be very nice if they gave us a gift box of here's 10,000 more gems, here's some structured decks, here's just like a huge reward. But why even, if you were going to do that, why not just give you one gift reward for each solo section you did as just a, hey, you completed all of the solo section stuff, so here's a reward. So I assume that's not really going to happen. So, yeah. Very soon, of the 4 lines here, solo will be completely unimportant, and we'll just never even click on it and go back into it. Shopping will be incredibly infrequent. Deck building will be moderately infrequent. And dueling will be the only thing of importance. Which, at a certain point, then, why not just take this sub-menu and just have it on the main menu instead of the whole card art concept, which clearly they're in love with that idea, and that's wasting space, a ton of space, and they only really want you to play ranked, and I should be playing ranked really right now, just trying my very best to get to the highest level possible. Well, I guess there's not a lot more to say, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.